it's so cute. It's a very sweet story. I think it has a good message about the people that we deem monsters, and like sometimes when you call someone a monster, it almost makes them turn into a monster, right? It's a self-fulfilling
Mm-hmm.
prophecy because you've completely othered them. They have no friends, they're all alone. So of course they're going to be filled with rage and sadness, right? So I feel like there's a nice message too about just like accepting people for who they are, like the people that society says are monsters are not. Like that piece itself is already gay, right? But then they also have a gay love story, right? But I feel like the central theme of it really is Nimona as like a little queer girl who like nobody understands and is like
Not a
this,
girl.
not a girl, queer shapeshifter. Um,
Nimona as a Nimona.
as a Nimona. Like, and it's like, oh, society tells you that this person's a monster, but they're actually one of the like kindest, sweetest, most loyal people in the world. And they're a good friend, and like they just want to be loved. And you're just like, Nimona, no.
I'll tell you what, like when you start this kind of movie, where it's like it's kind of YA-ish,
Yeah.
it's not you're not watching like Inception, right? I mean, it's like there's a lot there, but it's not trying to hide too much of it.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't ready for like the whole like back half of this movie, where you're
Yeah.
just like Nimona.
It's
It's
rough.
like this movie really quickly turns from like Nimona no to like Nimona no.
Yeah,
And I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for the switch when it happened.
I was bawling.
Oh,
Let's
I'm
be real.
sure. I can't even imagine.
Um,
How many boxes of tissues did Ellie go through
so
watching
much.
this movie?
Let's talk a little bit about the front half of the film
Okay.
before we dive into the back half, right? Because I feel like there's two the reason that these two characters are so like they get each other
Yeah.
is because they are both othered, right? So Boldheart, is that what his name is?
Yes. Ballister.
Ballister Boldheart, right, is this knight who was born into poverty, and he's dating like the most like aristoc aristocratic man ever, the descendant of
Okay.
like
Descendant of Glorith, can we discuss the name Ambrosius Goldenloin? I mean, just.
just gay.
Oh man, when you make your gay fancy pants night boy and you name him Goldenloin, it's
Goldenloin.
just like it's so fucking great.
It's so on the nose.
It's so great. I love it so
It's
much.
so on the nose. But yeah, we get that gay love story right from the beginning, right? Like
I know they're
he
so sweet
we get sort of
together.
like we get the overarching picture of the world, right? Which is like there are a lot of people in this world who are not happy that Boldheart is becoming a knight because
Mm-hmm.
they're like he doesn't deserve it, blah blah blah. And then you have like everyone's excited for Goldenloin because he has been meant for this since he was born, right? And it's
Yeah.
like you see that, then you see the two of them together, and you're like, holy shit, these two people that we just saw on TV are gay and in love. Like that was a fun, happy twist for me in the beginning.
Yeah.
Where I was like, okay, gay nights, I see it. Um,
Well,
and
and because we don't get gay nights that often,
mhm.
Gay nights is great.
And we also get like this person who was born into immense privilege, who like it's like a Romeo, not Romeo and Juliet kind of, what's it, Princess and the Pauper kind of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
love story, right? Where it's like they'll all love you because I love you, hand on
They're
hand.
they're so smitten. They're just smitten with each
They
other,
really
and
are.
I love it. Everybody's smitten until you're chopping arms off. It's
I
just,
know. And Goldenloin chops his arm off because he thinks that he just tried to kill the queen, right? He had to disarm the weapon. And we don't get a really a lot of happiness for our gay lovers
no.
from the beginning. So we have them separate. He's on the run. He meets Nimona. Nimona, let's just talk about like Nimona as a character.
She's so I okay, listen, if we're focusing on the first, kind of
First
like
half, yeah.
front half of the movie, I fucking love Chaos Nimona. Like she's so much fun. She's so much
So
fun.
much fun. Like
It's
that's the thing. Like I do feel like she's like chaotic good,
oh yeah.
right? Where she's like, let's smash things, like, but she's like taking care of quote unquote, like she's a sidekick to her hero, right? And she's like, or her villain. She
Yeah.
wants him to be a villain, right? But I feel like there's like a silliness in the villainy, right? Like there's like she turns into a pink rhinoceros, right? Like it's like this villain is like the silliest villain you could ever find, right? The
Yeah.
silliest monster. Like she's a gorilla, she's a cat, she's like she doesn't turn into anything like crazy
She's a
evil.
whale.
She's a whale, right? Like
The fucking recurring like whale beats took me out like the whole movie. A little
so good.
whale. They're just so funny. But it's like, why I think I love it is because I just finished reading a book series too that I loved that like also had a character very different actually than both Nimona and Ballister, but who I think worked for me for the same reason, which is just that like they're very principled. I love when you get people who are principled and who get pushed outside of the
Society or the
norms of society, right? Because then what you get to do is you get to like play with that in a way that especially me as like a queer person, love a lot, right? Because that I think that is it's a thing that we talk about a lot. I think on the show is the ways in which existing outside of the standard path for everyone forces you to re-examine what that path is and what its merits are or are not. And so I think that sometimes when you see like really principled characters in that position and how they each approach it, like it's fun. It's a fun little jump that you're gonna go on as people realize like, yes, burn it all down, it's all bad, it's all built on lies, it's all terrible, and fucking love that. Love that.